Hello and welcome to another episode of Workshop Wednesday. In today's episode, it's Tool of the Month time, and today we're going to be talking about ratchet spanners. Before we talk about what we've bought for this month, we'll talk about what we've already got, and we've got a decent selection of ratchet ring spanners and ratchet combination spanners. Now to go through what we've got and the features of them. So if we start with quite an old one, which is this Hilker one, we've got a set of these Hilker ones, and to change the direction you flick the switch there and then flick it back to go the other way. And these are pretty thick and they aren't offset. Not sure if they did another range where they were offset, but the set that we have aren't, so they're just straight ones. And then we've got these brittle ones, which are offset. They are very offset, and like the Hilker ones, they've got a switch to change the direction of them, like that. And then we've got these snap-on ones, which we've got a couple of, and instead of a switch for this, basically what you do is simply turn it over, and then that just changes the direction. It's labelled on or on and off to help you know which side is which. And then probably the most modern one we have is this Faken one, which has got a similar design to the snap-on one, where you just turn it over for the different directions. And then onto the combination ones, we've got a couple of these Faken combination ratchet spanners. You can see there they've got a switch here, which you flick the switch, and that changes the direction, which is quite good. And the ratchet end is slightly offset, definitely nowhere near the brittle offset. And then we've also got a set of these, which are Power Fix combination ratchet spanners, which, I mean, you can pick these up from any Lidl supermarket, and we didn't even get these here in England. We got these when we were in Cyprus on holiday from our local Lidl, and these have a changeable angle here on the ratchet end, and then like these ratchet rings, you just turn it over to change the direction. Now let's talk about advantages and disadvantages of all of these. Now, there's a couple of main advantages and disadvantages. First disadvantage is the amount of metal around the ratchet part on a couple of these, like the brittle one, the Hilker one. You can see there's a lot of metal around the ratchet part, which makes it difficult sometimes to get into small spaces where there's a bolt you need to undo, compared to the Faken one, which has minimal amount of metal around it and makes it very good for getting into small spaces. Snap-on is kind of in between the two. There isn't too much metal around there. Now, the other thing is usually offset. Now, with most of these, you can see there isn't actually any offset on these three, which can sometimes be an advantage and sometimes can't, depending on what space you're working in. Now, the brittle one, it's good to have a bit of offset on them, but I think that's a bit too much. Sometimes that can make the spanner not very helpful if you've got a small space and you've got to try and get the whole other end in as well to that space to undo a bolt. We found that the offset on these Faken combinations was quite good, because it's a small amount but not too much, and they've got similar amount of metal around them to this one. And then the Power Fix one also has a small amount of metal around the ratchet, and with the adjustable offset, that can be very helpful and make it very versatile. However, what we've seen is that if you use these a lot, this part can get quite loose, and obviously with the design of this, it's not going to be anywhere near as strong as something like that. Now, we wanted to buy a new set of these ratchet spanners, so we had a bit of a challenge deciding what we wanted to buy. We ruled out a few of them early on, like we've already got a set of these, we've got a set of these two as well, so we weren't going to go for them. We also ruled out Snap-on quite early on, because, as most people do, because we can't really justify paying Snap-on prices for a set of these, because we don't use them enough to justify that price. So then we had a couple of options. We've got the Facom ratchet ring spanners, or the Facom combination ratchet spanners with the offset and stuff. Now, we thought about this for quite a while, and we might not have gone for the one that most people might have gone for, but I've got the box here, and I'll show you what we went for. As you can see here, we went for the combination ones. So let's talk about the ones that we've bought now then. It's nice to have them in this case so that they're all in one place and you'll know if one's gone missing. I'll just pull the 916 out here, because this is a size we use a lot with our tractors, and we can directly compare it to the old 916 Facom one we had. So by the looks of it, they've made a bit of a design change on the open-ended side. You can see this has like a half hexagon shape there, so that it goes around nuts and bolts and stuff like that easier. And by the looks of it, this end of this one is slightly thinner, so that should make it more versatile, hopefully. And these sound really good. They feel like good quality. And then that slots back in there. So now let's talk price. And when we were looking at them, we found that one of these ratchet ring spanners is the same price as one of these combination ratchet spanners, and a set of these is the same as a set of these, like the one we have here. So we started thinking about value for money, and we assumed that because each one of these has two sizes on, that you'd get less spanners in a set, whereas this one you have 8, because of course you've got one size on each spanner, so I'd assume there's probably 4 in a set for this one. Not fully sure without looking though. And with these ones you also get the open ended side, which can be helpful as well when you're partway through a job and you need an open-ended spanner. It's there with your ratchet spanner. So let's talk numbers, and we couldn't justify buying a set of both. Obviously that would be the ideal situation, however you have to be made of money to do that. Now on to numbers. So these each cost around £21, which is about 23.5 US dollars and about 32.5 Canadian dollars. And then for this set that we bought, we paid £150, which converts to about 168 US dollars and 233 Canadian dollars. So in conclusion then, this is a very good high quality set of ratchet combination spanners, and I'm sure we'll get some good use out of them. However, of course, that comes at quite a high price, and the good thing about high quality ones is hopefully we won't need to replace any anytime soon, because they are an expensive tool to have to replace. Would be interested in hearing your thoughts on if you would have gone for something different, or possibly what ratchet spanners you use. But that is the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of Workshop Wednesday. Bye.